Hey guys, Ash Lane here, coming at you today with a guest expert, 3-star expert, Hundo from Battle Elite. He's been on the channel before. He's a great knowledgeable source, especially when it comes to Queen Walks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him in. Alright guys, so here I am with Hundo again. Hundo, it's your second time on the channel. Really happy to have you. I've invited you on today to maybe share some insight onto how to 3-star Town Hall 10s in Clan War. Maybe you can give us some tips about the best and most effective way to do that. So, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you, like I said. And maybe you could start by just telling people why it is so effective or why it's so important, rather, in these Clan Wars nowadays to have your Town Hall 11s be able to 3-star consistently Town Hall 10s.
Well, wars are really being seen to be one at the bottom. Everybody's getting used to attacking Town Hall 11 again. We're 2-starring all the top bases, the 11s. The focus that Battle's really working on is 3-starring all the Town Hall 10s and 3-starring all the Town Hall 9s to get the war win. Wars are being one at the bottom again.
Exactly.
And there's an awful lot of symmetry between the Town Hall 10 raids and the Town Hall 11 raids, that you can actually get the Town Hall 10s to pre-scout the walk and get the heavy 2-star on a first attack and really scout for your Town Hall 11 to see how things are going to path. And hopefully that Town Hall 10 gets the 3-star, but if it doesn't, the Town Hall 11 has the map to do it.
Absolutely. We're doing the same thing over in Red Elite, sister clans for those who don't know, and you're right. What we do is we have Town Hall 10s can either hit Town Hall 11s if they're anti-3-star and they feel confident, or they can go ahead and hit and try to 3-star Town Hall 10s, and then we have our 11s swoop in and use all their second attacks to clean up the board. And that's why I wanted to talk to you today, because you have a real tried and true method of hitting anti-3-star bases with Queen Walk, and I was hoping you could talk us through a couple attacks.
Absolutely. There's a couple keys to the raids that I'm going to show you today. One is having access to the air D. The first raid that we're going to look at is base 22 from the war against 3040. I'm going to Queen Walk it from south to east. I've got access to that air D. It's 5 tiles deep, and the center of it's 3 tiles over, so my queen's going to be able to access it. But when I'm looking at this base, I'm looking for the soft side. That's what makes me want to target that air D. By soft side, I mean those X-bows, the 3 X-bow triangulation is completely soft on that southeast flank. None of the bows can touch me. If I come in with a jump at the east, I get access to the first IT compartment, and from there I usually use either another jump or a quake to access the second. The reason that I look at this side again is because I don't want my queen to get cracked by those X-bows. The other thing that I'm seeing in this base, just by the way that it's set up and from the replays, is there are no double giant bomb locations. So I don't know if you just want to roll the raid, and I'll talk you through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and press replay right now.
Okay.
So we are live.
Yeah. All right. So starting my queen south. I know that I've got access to the air D. I'm going to hog that south to west flank. Once my raid is underway, I drop my jump. I'm going to create a seal with my Golem and my Whiz line in the east. That's going to come in a second. But those are the things that I'm looking at. I want to seal off the penetration for the Valks, and it's a very simple Whiz line just to create the funnel into the base.
Okay, so you just got the air defense down. So
yep, just the air defense down. I'm getting
you just got your jump.
I drop jump for the 7 tile gap there. I know that I'm going to make the jump. I drop my Golem. I create this Whiz line so that I can block out, and my Valkyries are going to have just free reign over the base in a second.
Yep.
And to tow them early so that I'm not going to lose too many valves, and I've got this dragon on me, and it really works well from there. The hogs are going to come in and they're going to take out the western flank, and
Okay.
the raid just works well.
Do you always use the heal spell on the hogs, or do you try to encompass both? How do you plan the heal?
I plan the heal on the hogs on all my raids, especially on bases like this where I'm not going to hog into a double giant bomb area.
Yeah.
Normally from the first replay, I normally always know where there's going to be at least one giant bomb, and the raid just works out really well.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with time like I do with an all max Valk attack because the hogs are so fast, and usually they help with cleanup. I was lucky. I had a spare minion for cleanup on the other side, and I've got Valks raining through. But the one thing that I've noticed looking at these kind of bases is there's an awful lot of Town Hall 9 bases that are the same, and you can use your queen and your hogs and your Valks on Town Hall 9 bases as well. Again, it's a very simple strategy. I don't have to worry about the wall breakers getting pinged off by a wizard tower or a mortar or anything like that. Now you could, if you had to get a little deeper, you could use a jump spell in wall break in, but it's really working out well for me just like that. We'll skip to the previous war.
Mm-hmm. I am on it right now, so we will look at your raid on number 16, right? And
yes.
I feel like this will be a good example of... So we just learned the basics in that first replay. Now on this replay, maybe even the viewers at this point can maybe think, hypothesize on how you would hit this base. So the first step, let me get this straight, because I have not watched this replay yet. So the first step is looking where the weak spot is in the expos. And it looks like there's a weak spot towards the east a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I come in from the north and head to the east, I can't get that air D very well. The only open air D is the one in the southeast.
Yep.
And it's kind of a soft side because those two other expos are grouped together in the east. So
Northwest.
Again, I know that expo, I'm going to be able to drop my golem and. Yeah, I know that I'm going to be able to have my golem drop in that east and pull that expo if I time it correctly. But again, I'm hitting that soft side. I'm going to quake the core so that I get access to all those inferno, or the two inferno towers, and wreck the core. But again, it's just a simple jump to get into the base. I'm going to drop that golem, and I'm going to create a seal. That way my Valks can't travel up the base, and my king gets inside. I wreck the core. Again, I'm going to tow him early. Got a dragon in the CC. And then I'm going to hog up that eastern flank, the opposite side of where I queen walked from.
Okay, so I'm going to hit play, and you can walk us through it again. Kind of into your mindset. Like, what are you thinking about right now, and then what's the next thing you want to get going? So you start with the queen walk.
Yep, start with the queen walk. I want to make sure, because where I'm entering the base, that I'm safe. You've already pressed play, Ash?
I have, yep. So
Okay.
right now the queen is just taking down the cannon right now, and you just placed your earthquake spells.
Yep. So because I'm pre-scared of the base, I know that my queen's gonna be relatively safe. So I can pre-drop that quake spell. Right now, I should be taking the jump.
Yep, you just placed your jump, and you just placed your golem.
And I create that seal again so that my Valks have no other place to go except to enter the base.
Yeah, really basic.
Again, I drop the hogs on the opposite side. There's no really basic funnel, and it's just a simple raid. I don't do real extravagant penetrating raids with my queen walk where I'm breaking down a wall and walking through the base. I don't have that skill, but what I do have is I have base recognition, and I've created very simple keys for myself so that when I see these bases, I know exactly how I can hit them and how it's going to work.
Yeah, that's really... Yeah, I mean, That's why I wanted to have you on, because I know you've been doing this for a while, but the formula, if you know what you're looking for, it just like, it's money. It's easy money, and that's exactly what we need. Like, when you're looking at a strategy, at least for me, the number one thing is consistency. Like, is it going to be consistent if you know what you're doing against a specific base? Is it going to be consistent? And this is almost always consistent.
Yeah, and in the same war, I think it's a lower level base, but again, it's base number 21 in this war. And just looking at the base, again, I'm trying to find that softer side. I see that weird wall outcropping up in the northwest is really going to mess up my queen. That would probably be the ideal way to go if that wall wasn't there. But I decided to go from west to south on this raid.
To hit that air defense.
I know I know that air defense is going to be far enough back that it's not really going to hurt my healers too much, because I'm going to be able to get my main force into the base and take it down. I know that I'm probably going to have to either rage my queen or I'm going to have to pop the ability. I think I popped the ability in this raid. But again, I quake the core. I've got that easy jump into the core, and there's no giant bomb locations on that eastern flank, or pardon me, on that
the western.
On the western flank. I'm pretty sure that pre-scouting it, there's only a single giant bomb in that double giant bomb space, but that's just scouting.
Yeah. Yep. Well, why don't we just press play on this one as well? So I just pressed play.
Yeah, I pressed play. So I know that my queen's going to be safe. There's not a lot of DPS. That X-bow isn't going to be on me for a while. I've got time to pre-quake. I can be super specific on my quakes because I'm starting in a safe spot. It's really slow at the beginning, like all queen walks are.
Yeah. But when do you decide to use the Grand Warden versus not using him?
Well, because the Grand Warden's going to give me that extra DPS, or that extra hit point on my queen, I know that I'm going to be in trouble if I don't use it. So it's really situational. If I know that I'm going to be in trouble, then I don't want to have to use a rage early in the raid. I actually didn't have to use my queen ability because she was pretty safe, because I did have the Grand Warden there.
What is a good barometer that you use as far as how many point defenses before you have to use the Grand Warden on the queen?
If I've got almost always, if I've got that X-bow and any other piece of artillery that's max on it, I for the most part use the Grand Warden.
Okay.
I feel pretty safe with it. I don't have very many times where my healers come off my queen just because I wait until my queen is targeted by the other artillery before I drop the warden, and she kind of trails behind it. He kind of trails behind anyway, and it speeds up the raid.
Yeah, and look at this. I mean, it's crazy. You have like all your hogs still alive in this raid. It's and your heroes at full health.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm noticing with this attack. It happens so fast. I get in the core so fast, and if I recognize the base, like really all I'm doing is I'm picking on flaws in a base. And I'm seeing these same kind of flaws on an awful lot of bases that are set up not exactly like this, but this is a very common base style through Town Hall 9, through Town Hall 10, and through Town Hall 11. I'm normally part of the cleanup crew in battle. And that's what we focus on. We want to 2-star all the Town Hall 11s. We want to 3-star all the Town Hall 10s and 3-star all the Town Hall 9s. We've got other guys in battle that are really good with these max Val grades. Ethan and Slugger, and we've got so many great attackers there. I really had to try to find my niche and find a style of base that I could hit consistently. And it's really traveled through the rest of the clan as well. We've got other guys like Silvermine that are that are doing this raid too. It's actually kind of getting kind of scary for me because I've got other guys that are crushing these
Looking
bases,
for the same
and
bases. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find another niche. But this has worked out really well. It's very consistent. Those are the strategy keys. Try to find that soft side, queen walk, hog the opposite side from where I enter the base, and I just travel up both flanks. And the only timing key that I really have is, again, because I don't do these very complicated raids. Normally what I like to do is I like to have my spells down and have used at least my king ability and my warden ability before I go on my hogs, just because it's a lot simpler raid for me. I like to try to hold my queen ability if I can, but sometimes, like in that first raid, I don't get the queen ability off. That was unfortunate. I still got the 3-star, but
you're right. With the way that you execute, you're never really doing more than one thing at a time. You know, I mean, besides dropping the Quake spells, but you're right. When you use your spells early and the Grand Warden early, it's easy to then focus on the hogs, make sure you nail that heal placement, and then just go from there. So you definitely have a good method down, you know? Hundo?
That, and like I said, as far as pre-scouting, are you there, Ash?
Yeah, yep.
As far as pre-scouting goes, I mean, a mid-level Town Hall 10 with a 35 queen would wreck this base as a 2-star. Any of these 3 bases, and probably have a very good shot at a 3-star. So it does travel across town halls. It's an effective raid, and I kind of thought that maybe we could show it to people.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for doing so. I'm sure a lot of people benefited. Even Town Hall 10s can certainly benefit from this. In Town Hall 9s, even like just in terms of what to look for when you're starting a queen walk, and so many simple other little tips along the way. So thanks again, man. I really appreciate you coming on again. I'm sure folks will really appreciate all the solid advice.
Thank you very much for having me, Josh.
All right, man.